Hey guys, it's Rachel from the Little Ring Lamb, and today I'm doing the mid-year book Freakout tag. If I'm looking down, I'm looking at my notebook and also my phone where I have the questions. This tag was actually created by Read Like Wildfire and Ellie Jane. I'm going to link both their channels down in the down bar so you guys can go check out their video. And this is a video that was made in 2015, and I've been seeing it for years. I don't think I've ever done it. I cannot remember doing it, but I've seen it done, and I've always wanted to do it, I feel like, and then I saw it in August, and I was like, it's a little too late. So it's now or never. Just kidding. But anyway, we're gonna go on to the questions. So, best book you've read so far in 2017. So, I don't even know. Oh, there's my best book. I have like my table now because I'm filming over here, so I have a table beside me where all the books I did not organize them. Yeah. But the best book I've read this year is actually The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. My book that I picked for the question number 2 was a hard choice between the two, but since that one was a sequel, I used it for the second. But this was my latest read. I really enjoyed this. It's one of my most anticipated of this year. And by the time you're seeing this, I do have a review up on this. And if I have reviews up, I think I have reviews up on most of these books. So I'll link the reviews in the down bar so you can peruse at your leisure if you want to. Also, just a side note, with my Goodreads goal, I made it 60 books instead of 50 because I kept beating 50. And I was like, I want to make it 60 because I do want to read more graphic novels and smaller novels and not feel like, I'm cheating, which that wouldn't be, but yeah. So I made it 60 and I've read 20 books so far. So to catch up, I need to read like 10 books this month, which I don't think is going to happen, but I feel like I will be able to make the 60 mark goal, especially because I'm taking the year off school. So I won't be in school, just be working and doing other stuff. So that will definitely give me some more time, I think, to read. Number 2 is best sequel you've read so far in 2017. And I picked The Lost World by Michael Crichton. This is a sequel to Jurassic Park. I love Jurassic Park, like the whole franchise, books, movies, everything. Love it. But I didn't, when I read the first chapter, this was I wasn't feeling it too much. After the first chapter, it speeds up. I was so enamored with this. It was so good. 3, new release you haven't read yet but want to, and that is When Dimple Met Rishi. I've been hearing a lot of people talk about that book, and the author, I did not look this up beforehand, so I'm just going to spell out her name. I'm sorry that I just don't want to butcher it. So Sandhya, and then her last name is Menon. I really want to read that book because I've been hearing really good things about it, and it sounds like a really cute contemporary that also has some issues and stuff like that. So number 4, issue topics, not issues within, you guys, I think you know what I meant. 4, most anticipated release for the second half of the year. And for that, I picked the 4th book in the Winter Street series by Ellen Hildebrand. I've reviewed the first 3 books in the series, Winter Street, Winter Stroll, and Winter Storms. And the Winter Storms, the 3rd book, was supposed to be the last, but it got extended for another book, and that comes out in October this year. But by the time I usually read them, I save them for December. And so that's what I'm going to be doing anyway with that. 5, biggest disappointment. Now, the biggest disappointment for me was actually Break Time by Aidan Chambers. And you might be wondering why I don't, I review almost everything on my channel, even if it's low, but I usually don't rate books too low because I'm pretty good, I feel like, at scouting out what will at least be a 3-star read for myself. I don't venture out too far, especially because when I'm putting my own money on the line, it's I want to pick something that I know I'll guaranteed like. So this book, I love Aidan Chambers' Dying to Know. You guys know that. That's my channel's holy grail. I talk about it all the livelong day. And I was so disappointed with this book. And I did this as a buddy read with Alex, and Alex was disappointed as well. So it wasn't just me. It was just it had a few good parts. I have a few things tabbed, but very disappointing. It very much upset me when I read that because I was I want it to be great. I had so many high hopes. Number 6, biggest surprise. So my biggest surprise was actually, don't bury it from everything else, is actually Hungry Heart by Jennifer Weiner, and this is her memoir, and the subtitle is Adventures in Life, Love, and Writing. And this book I thought was going to be really interesting, but I didn't know how, it was interesting, but I didn't know how impactful it would be, and it was my biggest surprise this year because I thought it was going to be really good, and just, a tale, reading about, this author's life growing up, but not only was it a tale about her life, but it was very inspirational and impactful. So it was my biggest surprise because I did not think it had that big of an impact on me, but I still find myself thinking about this book. And definitely had a big impact because then I went on to read another one of her books. I'm going to be reading another one of her books very soon, the sequel to Good and Bad, which is Certain Girls. So the next question, of course, I put my I need to take this off. Low power mode. If anybody has that problem, you put on low power mode and then you forget and you leave your phone open for like a second and it turns off. Very annoying. I get that's trying to save power, but could do without. 7, favorite new author, debut or new to you. So the author I picked for this, oh wait, the book was right on top, is actually Sarah Dommett, and her book is called The Guinevere's. This is her first novel. It came out October, I believe, of 2016. And so it's like a debut author. And I just read this book last month and really enjoyed it. So I'm definitely going to be interested in reading more of her works when she publishes more works. 8, newest fictional crush. My newest fictional crush comes from the book First Light by Bill Rancic. And the fictional crush is the character of Daniel. I'm trying not to repeat answers, but when you've only read 20 books, it's very hard not to. So number 9 is newest favorite character. And I picked Evelyn Hugo from The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I just find her a very fascinating, captivating character. 9 or 10, book that made you cry. This is probably the book, I didn't cry for any of these, but this is probably the book that got me a little bit teary-eyed when it's explaining her life because it does go through the hardships and heartbreaks. Number 11, a book that made you happy. So the book that made me happy was The Best of Adam Sharp by Graham Seamsian. Not only because Graham Seamsian released another book and is one of, just like, he doesn't have very many books out, it's actually only 3 books, but is one of, like, an autobiographer pretty much at this point for me. And I really just love his writing, so this book made me really happy when it came out. And also I really liked the story, like, it did go through heartbreaking stuff, and there was, like, lots of ups and downs, but for the most part, it did make me happy. And it was kind of a sad story in a bit, but it made me happy at all the last. 12, also I'm looking down, like I put my phone on the table, it's just that's what I'm doing. Favorite book to film adaptation you saw this year? So the only book to movie, I haven't watched very many movies this year, but the only book to movie adaptations I've watched are Jurassic Park, The Lost, and The Lost World. But I decided to pick a different answer, even though those are my, favorites. But I picked actually The Grand Budapest Hotel, and I just actually watched this last night, and I'm still fangirling over this. I love it so much. I watched it with my friend, and so good, guys. It's so pretty. All the color palettes, I was drooling. And I've never had the reaction to a movie before. It just, oh my gosh, I need to watch that again. Like, it's so beautiful. And the story's kind of harsh, but like the color palette. But I like the story still, but the color palette just, the scenes, like how they're set up, the tracking shots, really, really good. And that, it wasn't based off like a direct book. There is a book that they, I guess, made from the movie, but it was based off writings by Stephen, and I'm forgetting his last name, but it's based on writings from this author, so I'm counting it as a book to movie adaptation. 13, favorite review you've written this year, book 2 version, favorite video you've done so far this year. And my favorite video I've done so far this year, I haven't had too many that are very different off the regular videos I put up because I like, having kind of like my wrap-ups, like doing like a little bit of a routine, and I know that can get a bit stale with everything going, but it's what comforts me. I do this for fun, and I want to still have fun with it. But the things that the video series I really enjoyed putting out this year is my TLRL watch, which is when we watch, like right now we're watching 11 episodes a month of Felicity until December, and I come back and I talk about it, and it's been very interesting. And I've been really enjoying this rewatch, and I think that, like, not a lot of people are joining on this rewatch at the moment, but I feel like it'll gain some more traction, hopefully in some months. And I'm just enjoying rewatching some of these programs, so can't really complain. It's been fun to actually just like write notes and discuss what I've been feeling. 13, favorite review you've written. Oh wait, that was 13. 14, most beautiful book you bought so far this year or received. And the most beautiful book I bought or received is actually now on the floor, of course, because I thought, won't need that one anymore. But I do, and my chair keeps creaking every time I move. That's cute. The most beautiful book would be The Guinevere's by Sarah Dommett, and I just picked the most beautiful of the books I'd already read. I didn't know if it counted just the books I'd read, but this one is so pretty. I really love it. I wish it was more white than beige, personally, but like the background, but because it'd be more striking, but even there's like texture, and the letters have texture, and it's really pretty. So the last question is, what books do you need to read by the end of this year? And I had to finish up the Lion Game series by Sarah Shepard, upside down. I've read the first 2 books in the series, but I haven't read the last 4, and I keep getting asked when I'm going to put the reviews of those books up. I'm going to be reading them this year, I hope. I'm really trying my best to get to them. I hope to get to them like at least August, September. So we'll see. but those are some books I really need to finish this year. And that has been the mid-year book freakout tag. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys want to do this tag, definitely go ahead and do it because I'm going to tag whoever wants to do it. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.